Patch 24.10 is now out, and this time we have some changes to talk about. Riot are adjusting a lot of AP items this patch, so I'm gonna cover only the changes that affect Kaisa directly, but if you want to see all the details, make sure to read the patch notes. Alright, for Hybrid Kaisa, there are two important changes. Both Nasher and deathcap prices are going down by 100. So from 3k to 2.9k for Nasher, and from 3.6k to 3.5k for deathcap. This should make it easier for you to hit your spikes, especially for deathcap, which has always been difficult to buy because of its high price. So yep, it's a nice indirect buff to Kaisa. It's not the biggest one, but it should make your life easier. Alright, now for AP Kaisa, there are two changes to talk about. First off, Ludens is also getting the same treatment with its price going down by 100 gold. Secondly, we have the change to Horizon Focus. So the price is going up by 200 gold. The AP is going from 75 to 110 AP, but the 10% damage boost when you hit someone at long range is gone. I know this sounds a bit confusing, so let's first look at the numbers. This is how much Horizon Focus did last patch, so in 25.9 with 1 W and a passive proc with 2 Ws. And this is how much Horizon Focus is doing right now, so in 25.10. As you can see, we are losing around 4% DPS with this change, while it also costs 200 gold more to actually buy. So yes, this is a nerf, there is no going around it. By the way, the reason why Riot is doing this is to try to make Horizon Focus more open for other champions, but at the expense of poke champions, which is a bit sad. So overall, Hybrid is getting a nice quality of life buff, Manamune AP Kaisa is also getting buffed, and the only build getting slightly nerfed is Essence Fever AP Kaisa. So overall, pretty good to be fair. Okay, build time. The good thing here is that even with all the changes, it doesn't affect Kaisa builds. So if you want to know how to build Kaisa this patch, I recommend watching my season 2 video that goes over all the ADC builds. But as a quick TLDR, our most comfortable build this patch and even more now is Kraken Slayer plus Rageblade plus Nasher plus Deathcap plus Zhonya's. If you're behind, you can also go for Static over Kraken, and if you're ahead in lane and you can afford BF Sword early, you can also go for Yuntao with BF Sword plus Pickaxe plus Longsword for Q Evolution into Yuntao plus Rageblade plus Nasher. Next up, if you prefer going for AD on hit, then the best build is Kraken Slayer plus Rageblade plus or Terminus into Squishies, or Navari into Fighters slash Bruisers, or Borg plus LDR into tanks. And for the last items, you can go for BT, Shobo, GA, or Zhonya's. And finally, if you're facing a really squishy enemy team and you can afford BF Sword early, then you can also go for Crit Kaisa. So you start with BF Sword plus Pickaxe plus Longsword for Q Evolution, and then you have two options. You can go for a more scaling standard Crit Kaisa build with Yuntao plus Fatal Dancer or Rhythm's Hurricane into IE, or if you want to snowball and be a bit more aggressive, you can also go for Yuntao plus Collector plus Navari. And like for AD on hit, your last items can be BT, Shobo, GAs, or Zhonya's. Alright, let's now talk about AP Kaisa. I didn't cover it last video because I was waiting for this patch, so let's go. First off, the runes. When you're playing AP, I recommend to run a standard fleet page with Presence of Mind or Triumph, both works, plus Haste, plus Cut Down, and for your secondary, you have two options. Or you go for Absolute Focus plus Gathering the Storm for extra scaling, or when you're facing an annoying poke matchup like Syndra mid lane or Kit Lux for example, you can also go for Second Wind plus Overgrowth. As for the build, I'm going to cut it into two parts. One for bot lane and one for mid lane slash top lane. So for bot lane AP Kaisa, I really do not recommend going for Manamune, because not only it has a super slow Q evolution now, but also it has the least amount of damage compared to all the first items you can go on Kaisa. And since bot lane can be really chaotic with a lot of fighting, it's way better to have combat stats in case you fight. So in my opinion, the best build for AP Kaisa bot lane is still Executor plus Longsword or Pickaxe for Q evolution. Longsword will give you Q evolution at level 10 and Pickaxe at level 8. So it depends if you feel like you need Q evolution for the lane or not. Then you finish building Horizon Focus, plus Shadow Flame, plus Deathcap, and finally Void Staff. For mid lane slash top lane AP Kaisa, you can rush the ER build if you want to be aggressive, but overall I recommend to use the standard Manamune build. Remember, for this build, it's really important to back at around 1000 gold, so you can buy a tier plus a call for your Q evolution, and then you can simply TP back to lane. After that, it's standard with Manamune plus Ludens, plus Shadow Flame, plus Deathcap, and Void Staff. And there you go. Pretty simple. Finally, let's go over the Adc Tier list for 25.10. Since there are barely any changes to champions, the tier list is staying the same for now. So like before, Kaisa is in a pretty good spot right now, and with this buff, Hybrid should feel even easier to play. Alright, this should cover everything you need to know about Kaisa in 25.10, and with that said, enjoy the gameplay and subscribe. I prefer going Yuntal over going Krakensail when I can, because the burst from Yuntal evolution is just too strong for me to pass. Oh boy. Level 6 to level 5. I thought he died. Nice. 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 We're coming. We left all the people.
Are those peaches I smell?
Really? Nice. So be careful. Nice. Yes, flash. To be fair, I think what's important to remember when you're playing with Enchanter supports especially, is you want to wait for mistakes. Because like, the thing with Janna, for example, is that, well, you don't really have real engage, to be fair, right? Janna is more of a reaction support in a sense. Her Nado is really there to kind of prevent someone from going on you, for example. But it's not super good as a, like a sort of engage. Unless you get a really lucky Nado, which can happen sometimes, but the point is that into these supports, like Janna especially, like Janna, Yumi sometimes too, like you kind of want to play, you don't want to like be too aggressive, because if you are too aggressive, it's gonna be really difficult, especially into a Tristana, to be able to win the fight. So you kind of want to wait for mistakes, basically. You can maybe do something here. Can we chase, actually? Ah, sad. Actually, we can kill for sure. Oh boy. No, white flash! Nice. We can just kill Tristana here. Like her damage level 2 is pretty strong, especially with her bomb. Boy. Vitality Graves, huh? Is something, huh? If an ADC could do that, people would be so mad. I guess Caitlyn did that for a while, but she was nerfed. Careful, 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 Janna there. Yep. GG's. Clean game. Really clean game. 99. Actually, not bad damage.